Yo, 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 it's your boy Sam,
And Matt.
and today we're,
I hope think of something clever.
we're gonna be reviewing,
That was good. Riverdale.
yeah, we're back to the daily grind, and we're hitting
Mm.
up Riverdale, this episode being called Anatomy of a Murder, um, which is a kind of good name, I guess, because it kind of goes with my book, Anatomy for Great YouTube Content, if you want to pick that up.
Have you read it yet?
I haven't even written it yet.
Clearly.
So yeah, this episode starts off pretty much where last episode took off. Um, FP is in the clink, the lockup, like a beef stew, a rusty nail. So he's sweating it. They've left him there to sweat. They give him a quick a grilling. I think that's what they call it. And he pretty much confessed to everything. Now, I wasn't really going for the fact that he actually did it, but like I knew for a fact when he said that he broke into the guy's house, it's like the sheriff's house and jacked all the paperwork and stuff like that. And I was thinking to myself, this Sheriff Keller's a bit of a crease. He's like, he don't ask any questions. He should have just been like, okay then, where did you break in? Did you break in a door or a window? Where was the paperwork and files located? It's like if he dropped that straight away, he would have been like, duh, and then that he would have been no commented, pleading the fifth.
Obviously, the sheriff is a complete idiot, but I guess you can be annoyed by that if you want. But in fairness to the show, they don't try and hide that.
No. So yeah, the teen detectives, as I'm gonna
Mm.
call them, trying to prove FP's innocence because they feel like the gun was a plant. You've got Jughead like, oh, I'm buying my bus ticket. I'm leaving. I've been betrayed by my friends. Oh wait a minute, my mum don't want me either. So just give me a ticket anywhere, like
Mm.
to Florida, I think it was. The ticket was. It's like, oh, okay then. But he's pretty much accustomed to being a homeless guy, so I mean, it'd probably work out quite well for him.
And what I mean, he goes to a diner,
Well,
which is
it's open 24/7.
what?
Well, they said it, didn't they? It's open 24
I
7.
know that it said that, but why is it open for 24 hours in that tiny town?
I don't know, but I'm gonna drop a real goofy fact. But the diner's like it's like a mock-up. It's not real. They just kind of mocked it up, the exterior and stuff like that. And this is on the Wikipedia page that it was so convincing that a trucker actually stopped off and thought it was real and like tried to go in, and it was like, look, mate, it's a prop. Calm down.
Oh,
So
oh.
that's a fun little fact trivia for you. Could you imagine being that guy? But it does look good though. So yeah, he's there, and then they kind of give him the brief rundown, and he's still not convinced. Then he ends up going to, I mean, Molly Ringwell was kind of running her mouth. It's like she's disappeared though, so it was like, what's the point in her bringing her back? And it just so happens she's a lawyer, and she gets like the information no one else can, and then she's like, I'll go see him. He goes and sees him, and he spins a yarn like, yo, get out of it. You know he's protecting him.
Mm.
You kind of,
Before that happens, Jughead gets mugged off again by Luke Perry. It's like everyone in the show just sort of craps on this Jughead guy.
yeah.
Luke Perry, I don't know, I guess like, what was his problem? Like Jughead was going to bring Archie down or something?
No, it was like,
Oh, the trouble follows the family around, that was it, right?
yeah, that old shtick. So yeah, he goes and sees him and blah blah blah, and then they get another. They go and find Joaquin, and then he leads them to another serpent who's like, took the good stuff and he ain't waking up in the bath. And they like come out and that, and then obviously the sheriff's and Joaquin dash it, and like there's a dirty bag of cash under there. It's like, I was thinking, if I walked in there and found a dead body, I mean, it might be morally and ethically ambiguous, but I'd have a little look round. And could you imagine if you go in there, you find a dead body, and then you kind of just look under the bed and you find a satchel full of fat cash? There had to be about a honey grand in there.
It's not morally ambiguous. It's wrong. But if you're asking if I'll take the money, yes.
Yeah, duh, obvious. So yeah, when they brought the bag out and opened it and there was fat cows, so I was like, nah, they must be kicking themselves. I mean, that would have been a sweet raise. Um, So yeah, and then there's the whole thing like Joaquin decides to leave town, and it's like, oh, just 1 second, I didn't want to say in front of everyone else. It's like, why didn't you want to say in front of everyone else? What
Hmm.
was that all about?
I
You
know
know,
you've already said the worst thing when you incriminated yourself.
exactly.
Oh, how dumb can you be? But and by the way, the sheriff's son bringing out the light. I'm not here as your boyfriend. I'm here as the sheriff's son. What does that mean?
Exactly, exactly.
It's
It's
not
like
deputised fool.
exactly. It's like, what are you like? Where's your badge? What does that mean? It's like that's even more reason for him not to talk.
Hmm.
It's like he should have gone with the boyfriend angle. So yeah, there's like the whole kind of milling around. We know he's not guilty, but now we've just got to kind of prove it.
Right,
And
and
then,
at one point, Jughead. It must have been like a line misreading, but I can't believe it's like you're on a TV show, you can afford to reshoot it, right? At one point, Jughead literally says the line, "My dad's been lying to me his whole life." No, that he's not been lying to you his whole life, has he? He's been lying to you your whole life.
mm,
Which is, I mean, that's fine. It's like a nitpick for your thing, but it's like you must have shot that scene a couple of times. Why can't you just get the line right?
you know what? It was probably written in there, and whoever the writer was just kind of glazed over
I
it.
will pick over it. Yeah,
It must have
maybe.
been. There must have been like, oh, it must have been a late night. Oh, it looks okay. So they find the jacket, and then there's the whole, oh, thank God there's girls around, or we would have been left scratching our head because there's a hole in the pocket. And oh, do I hate it when my lip gloss or chapstick
Where
drops
did
down
that
there?
come from?
And then Veronica has to obviously one up it and be like, oh yeah, my matte blank or whatever goes down there, and it's just like, all right
What?
then.
Where does that come from?
I
That comes
don't
from
know.
absolutely nowhere. It's like this magic like pen drive thing which has been hidden this entire time.
Yeah, which has like the CCTV. So yeah, they watch. I tell you what, credit where credit's due. I'll give them credit for when they. I was thinking, right, they're watching this thing on the computer and they're not going to show it to us or whatever. But I thought their reactions to it were pretty
Yeah, that was
good.
cool.
I like that. I like the way Arch is just like not flinching. He just sees some guy literally like killed, like literally murdered, and the guy didn't even flinch.
Their reactions were good, and I bet yeah. I think I wonder that might have been like a. I'm going to give him his due and say maybe that was an acting choice rather than just like being unable to. I think that was a choice, but I kept trying to read their reactions like is one of them giving it away like they're related to the killer or something.
Oh yeah, and
But
they did the whole flipping. We glazed over this point, but the whole incest thing. They get Polly out of there because it turns out they're
oh yeah,
related, and it's like, oh, we changed our name to Cooper. It's like, oh, okay, then good choice.
why ain't you
Anything.
got red hair?
Who? Oh
What?
well, that's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
very good point right there. It must have been like whatever, because it was great grandpappy, wasn't it? So I mean, you got like you got great grandfather, so you got the grandfather, the father, and then him. So it's probably like abolished down the line, or it skipped a generation. But then again, why not Betty? I don't know. It must have just been like knocked out. But yeah, they go in there, the whole incestuous thing. They get Polly out of that. I was like, ooh, they're just throwing everything at this. You know what I mean? If the murder and the conspiracy ain't enough, let's throw some incest into there. So
Hmm.
little kids are gonna come out with two heads, even though they make a big deal out of it. But it's like third cousins. Like okay, then whatever. So yeah, and then whoever picks up the phone makes the call. This is what I thought was the best scene of the thing. They make the phone call to Cheryl, and then she like blinks, and when she opens her eyes, a tear goes down. Then the next, I was thinking that was sick. I was thinking that was great, and then and then
I thought it was good, but then it made me realise like who the killer was, which I don't like.
I still kind of thought it was a mama. So she goes
Uh,
downstairs, she stands next to her mum, and then she's like, yeah, there was that weird thing with her mum earlier as well, where she just grips her hands up and drags her into like the little shed with all the barrels of maple syrup, and it's just like, oh, whatever. Then I thought she was
I,
going to get dragged in there, and Jason was going to pop out or something. I was
no.
thinking, oh, are they going to do that? But then I was thinking,
For a second, I legit thought it might be the grandma. She had a creepy old woman. I was like, oh, is it her? And they're like, nah.
so yeah, and then she stands next to her mum and goes, "Daddy's done a bad thing," or something like that, and it was just like, oh. So then yeah, we show what actually happened, and it's like, obviously, what was his name, Mustang, I think it was. He was like poking at Jest, and then like Clifford comes around the corner and then pops him straight in the head. I'm thinking, what's that all about then?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm confused.
So am I. But you know what you're confused? Because the dad hasn't been developed enough. We don't know enough about his relationship with Jason at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. So then obviously, Veronica gets the call that her dad's been released, so I guess we'll see him next episode.
Yeah, he's going to be the big villain, isn't he?
And then she's going to be all up in his grill. And then the police go to arrest Clifford, and we find it, and is, hanging in the thing in the casks. The caskets of maple syrup are all full of drugs, so it's like, oh, what's going on here then?
Yeah, is that going to be another whodunit?
Um,
Or are they going to say he killed himself?
yeah, they'll kind of wipe that under the carpet, but then they're still going to like press like, why did he do it? Because no one really knows why he did it. They're like saw him arguing and stuff like that, and then you've got the drugs, so they're going to follow the paper trail back to that. So really, there is a ton more mysteries, I guess. Which I mean, I guess they'd have to have, because I mean, if they didn't and wrapped it all up there and then it'd just be like, oh, couple episodes left. Then what's going on here?
Is this not the finale?
Nah. I wonder what Veronica's dad looks like.
Wow. What do you mean?
I don't know, I just wonder what he looks like. I'm looking forward to next week.
I see it. I'm still kind of bugged by the dad being the killer.
Who, Clifford?
Yeah. I'm not loving it.
Yeah, because we don't really know why he just randomly went and did it. Maybe he had something wrong with him or something. He always came off a little sinister to me. I think it was like
we just haven't seen enough of him.
It's like the look in the eye. It'll be some big major conspiracy that the kid was going to out him and ruin the whole empire, so they kidnapped him to scare him, and his concession wasn't broken, so he's just like, okay, then I'm going to pop a cap in you, you know what I mean? Taste the lead, yo. Pow!
You just see yourself in the face.
No, obviously not. Do I look like an idiot? So yeah.
You feel like a blossom.
So yeah. Numbers.
You know, I won't let the fact that I didn't like the reveal drag it down. I'll give it an 8. I thought it was pretty good. I had fun. Like I say, I thought the reactions were cool. I was into that.
There's a couple really good scenes, but there are a couple boring bits, like the whole Mustang thing. We didn't really need that.
That came out of left field.
That was just, I think that was just there to shock people, to be like, yo, it's not like a kiddie program really.
And
but
the pen drive or whatever, the USB, whatever the hell it is, that come out of nowhere. That's stupid.
Yeah, because I mean, anyone else, it would have fell through the hole and gone on the floor or something.
In fact, you just turned this to Batman all of a sudden.
Yeah, never to be seen again. Yeah, it's like Scooby-Doo. Yeah, 7.5. I mean, there were a few whack bits in there, but I mean, overall it was good, and there were some choice scenes that were like really good. It's like the CW shows. Sometimes they do really good stuff, but it's like literally like 10 seconds worth of stuff in a 45-minute episode, or an hour if you watch it with adverts. So yeah, I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And we solved this mystery. Now we'll solve the next one, and we'll see you in the next episode.